Welcome to our tiny house bathroom. And we have a surprise. We finally got a real composting toilet. We finally gave in and got one for Christmas. Broke the bank, but we're excited to test it out and see how it differs from our old one that I made myself. So, it's a pretty cool little toilet. I checked it out just a little bit. The box is almost as big as our bathroom, but it's in our car right now. But, so there's a few cool things. They say that, so that's how you remove the top. It just has this little hinge here. It's cool, and it has some straps on the sides. And they said that the crank, this guy here, to rotate the compost, the peat moss, and the poop. They say that this can go on both sides. I found it can, but it's not super easy to change it. It came on this left, or on the right hand side, I guess, depending on where you are. On the right hand side, but as you can see, that's our wall, and so we don't want it on that side. So I switched it over to the left side. It wasn't the easiest thing. If you can come see here a little closer, you have to take out these crazy little pins, and you have to unbend them. You're going to need some tools like some needle nose, probably some pliers, and I used a flathead screwdriver. So you unbend this little pin here and pull it out of its little hole, and then you kind of got to bend the bar inward and the toilet outward just a little bit to get it out of these side holes. And you can finally turn it around, put it so that the crank side goes on whichever one you prefer. And then you gotta figure out how to stick the pins back in the holes. That was fun. It didn't take I guess it took like maybe 15 minutes, but so not the easiest thing, but also not the hardest thing. But we're really excited about this. As you can see, we have a pretty small bathroom. This is where our old composting toilet was that I made. This is a piece of the pipe for our urine diverter where it used to be. We just sent it down out with our gray water. And so we don't have a spot right now for the vent pipe and the vent hose. So I'm working on that, where to put it. But for now, we're pretty excited about this toilet to see how it works. So now I showed you how you can change the sides for the agitator handle. And I have been researching and thinking about composting toilets. I realized there's something I didn't really look forward to, was getting down on my knees and rotating this agitator handle. So I came up with a little thing that I'm going to test out, and we'll show you once it's done. But basically, I got this little motor, and it only uses 4 watts an hour, so it's almost nothing. You would never even notice it in your batteries. And I'm basically going to just hook it right up to the pipe here, or not to the pipe, to the agitator bar. So that way, when you want to turn to mix the compost and to cover the poop with your peat moss or whatever you're using, it's super simple. You just flip the button. So that's something that I'm working on, just some of my personal modifications to the toilet. I also want to modify it so that if we want, we can have the urine just drain out of the house instead of having to collect it in the bottle. We're going to test both ways, see which way we prefer, and we'll let you know how it goes. But so you can stay right there. I've got some peat moss here. We'll show you. So when you first get your toilet, you get your peat moss and you want to fill your tank up to the agitator bar when it's horizontal. So if you come a little closer, you can see it's going to get a little dusty. We'll get this a little damp. I wish we had a this little spray bottle right now. That would be nice.
Have that green one, don't
yeah. So they also give you, just to stay there, they give you a little spray bottle. It's kind of them. It's for when basically when you miss. So if you're pooping, you can see you open that little lever up there and it opens your poop flap. Basically if you miss, you're gonna have some poop everywhere and or some pee somewhere. And so they give you this fancy little spray bottle to clean it up. You put a mixture of white vinegar and some water in it just to make it a natural cleaner. You don't want to use a whole lot obviously, but so your peat moss you want to be moist. You don't want it to be dry and you don't want it to be wet. You just want it to be moist. So we're going to have to put a little bit of water into this because it's pretty dry. So I put our peat moss into this little 5-gallon bucket. It comes in a pretty big 3 cubic foot brick. It's pretty big. We got ours at Home Depot for about $18. It's kind of expensive because we're in Hawaii, but pretty cheap because it'll last you for about a year at least. So that's a good deal. So we're just going to stick some more in here, but we got to get some water. And we're almost to the right spot. So one of the benefits of this compared to other composting toilets, ones that I've built in the past, not all of them were this way, but some of them, and most of the other composting toilets you can buy, one of the benefits of this is that you don't have to continually add compost or peat moss to it. You just put it in one time and then you just mix it with the solids and it'll do its job. You don't have to keep adding it on. And the benefits of this, I really like the agitator bar and why I've put it in some of the ones that I've built myself, is that it covers all the surface area of the solids. And that's really going to help to not only help compost quicker, but it's going to decrease any smell you might have, which is a big deal to some of us. So, to Michelle especially. So I found her a very sensitive subject to women. Michelle was, even though I thought ours were pretty good all along, she was still scared of using them. But, so you can see, I need a little key here. So for now, until I get our motor working, we're just going to use this agitator handle. Just keep it simple. So you just unscrew this little locking piece, put it on, screw it back on. Actually, sorry, it's really tight. Where'd our tools go? Had them around here.
I think they're behind here.
Oh, there they are. Just gotta loosen that a little bit. Interesting little key thing. This is not the most exciting part. The most exciting part is in a minute when we get to use it. So you can see, if you want to put the camera here, Michelle, you can see how what it does is it just mixes this peat moss right in You can do it either way, really, so that everything just gets nice and covered. It'll get pretty dusty in there, but that's why we add a little bit of moisture, so it's a little wet. Right now it's really dry. So I'll just get a little bit of water. Like I said, you don't want it wet, you just want it moist. That's probably not enough. I'll probably have to get a little spray bottle of water, but you can get the idea of what it's supposed to be like. So now we'll put it back on. One of the other things that I thought was interesting, the opening bar, I couldn't figure out an easy way at all to really switch the sides of that. I don't think it's really possible. I thought they said you could switch the sides, but it doesn't look like it to me. So yeah, anyways. But one of the other things I thought was interesting is how, and a little unnecessary, so I took it off, but it's how so this just, you can see it slides on the hinge there. It goes down, you got a nice seal. I like that. Clamp it up, it's super tight. Yeah, it's not coming off now. So this has to stay on that side. That's okay. It's not a big deal. This little thing here, this is where your fan is. And we have our hose that we'll hook up later. What's nice is that you can switch the sides. And the other side here actually came with one of these things too. They're on both sides. I thought that was a little weird. I didn't quite understand why. I thought it stuck out a little far. I don't know about you, but so that was excuse me, just one little thing. But overall, seems like a good toilet. Pretty expensive, but if the wife likes it, then it's worth it. So it's our Christmas present. So we'll stick it in the corner. I'm gonna, a little bit later, remove our little urine pipe there, but it'll go something like that. And we have a composting toilet in our tiny bathroom in our tiny house. Thanks for watching.